So there are 12 races on the card at the Hollywoodbets Durbanville for 2023, and looking forward to getting through the other 11 races with the panel. I'll be talking to Asandiwe about his rides, Keegan DeMello about his rides, Anthony about the Hollywood Syndicate runners. Justin Snaith's got a uncharacteristically quiet day at the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, but important runners all the same, and Mike de Kock as well. The first gets underway at 11:45. You don't want to miss it. There's so many opportunities to be a winner. And starting off with race number 1, the non-black type Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup for fillies over 1,300 metres. Only one representation on this panel. Keegan DeMello takes a ride on number 12, Divine Moonlight, trained by Washong Mowing. And one of the more experienced runners in the race. Keegan, you rode her last time out. Until the last 200 metres, she actually looked quite dangerous. What are your expectations on Saturday?
I think the distance will suit. She's obviously quite a pacey filly, so hoping to not use too much petrol going around and hopefully get into a nice relaxed position, and hopefully she can stay there this time.
And the fact that she's already been to Hollywoodbets Greyville, do you see that as a big advantage?
It does. She's got a bad habit of hanging in quite badly, so really hoping that's sorted and she just runs in a straight line, because I feel she would have run a lot closer last time.
Be interesting to see how she goes alongside Secret Identity, who beat her, but there shouldn't be all that much between them in race number 1. The second race on the card is the Colts equivalent over 1,300 metres. It starts the first bipod on the card at 12:25. Justin Snaith's got a runner here in the form of Gimme Lightning, number 10 on the card, the son of Gimme the Green Light, had 3 starts in Cape Town. Obviously, Justin, your new regime of rating horses in for these big days has been an interesting one. So far, fairly successful one. First run for the 2-year-old, is it just a matter of the race presenting itself? You got to come?
Exact. Well, we came up early in the season with him, and unfortunately he went Shinsel. So I had to back right off him. I do think he's a nice horse to follow in the future. Maybe when we go back to Cape Town, I thought, well, since the day is here and it's a sales race, he can take his place. His gallop actually was pretty impressive. I managed to bring him here last Thursday, and his gallop was quite of a high standard. Maybe a horse for if you're going wide to add into quartets and trifectas, but he is a horse that I do think in time he'll be a nice sort.
Valuable race, a 400,000 rand race, a third or fourth would go down well. Feel like a win in a minor race. That, of course, the beauty of such a big race day. Keegan, you're probably on the horse to beat, number 4, Outlaw King. The 2 runs in Durban haven't been all that bad. The last time was in a grade 1 at Hollywoodbets Scottsville when finishing second behind a freakish Lucky Lad. Is this the race for him?
I definitely think it is. I don't think he's brought his Cape form to Durban. He took a bit of time to come right, and I think that 1100 was just too sharp for him, and he showed us glimpses last time that he was probably getting to his best.
Okay, so Outlaw King, a very interesting runner in race number 2. Definite inclusion in the bipod. Race number 3 is the grade 3 Splash Out 2200, or the Hollywoodbets Durbanville Consolation, as it is traditionally known, and quite a few representatives in this race that are on the panel. Start off with Asandiwe Mgudlwa, who rides number 14 Sea Master, who you guided to victory in the Lonsdale just over a month ago. Nice light weight, bad draw again. Do you see the drop in 200 metres being an issue for him?
No, I don't see it at all. Just based on his well-being. I think he's really been impressive, this horse. After his last win, he's really come on, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. The only thing that might be a concern is the draw. Just looking at how I rode him last time, I think the guys are going to be very aware of that this time round. So it just makes it a bit tricky, but his well-being is very well, so I'm not so concerned.
So in the same space as he was on his last 2 starts. I mean, one thing winning a middle stage, stepping up to Group 3 level, and the rate of improvement that he's showing, is he still on an upward curve?
I think so. He's just felt like he's improved all along, and I've been working him almost every day, and he's doing very well, so I'm quite happy with him.
Okay, so fighting talk about Sea Master. Mike, you've got quite a few in here. You've got 2 horses that went to the final hurdle of the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, Union Square and Aragosta, as well as the winner of the Gold Vase 12 months earlier, Blackthorn. What do you make of their chances?
Firstly, Blackthorn, I think, is going to need the run, so he's had a bit of a layoff. Union Square, blinkers come off. He's been a tad, I would say, a bit disappointing up until now. Probably a horse that might need gelding, but he does have ability. I mean, he was able to win the Dingons, and the day that he puts it together, he'll win a top race, this horse, eventually. Aragosta, as I say, that's a blinkers off there as well. Aragosta, the cheek pieces go on. He's been a bit of a monkey around Greyville. He's just not done his best. You know, he sort of hangs and not runs to his best form. He ran pretty well last time in the second. Time before at Greyville wasn't bad either. He went down 2 short heads, ran to his handicap rating. Better off with a winner. A horse with Christoph on, you can't leave out of anything. And the chick pieces might just make a difference with the hanging here at Greyville.
Anthony Blackthorne, of course, gave us one of the feel-good moments of Hollywoodbets Durban July 2022 in winning the Gold Vase. Mike says, will need the run. He's entitled to need the run. Hasn't been seen since early January. Is this just to tee him up for races in the future?
Yeah, well, he's had a nice holiday on the farm, and obviously that's his first run for Mike. And and I have seen him in the morning training, and I definitely believe that he is going to need the run after that long break.
Keegan, how good is the best version of Blackthorne? Let's eliminate his chances here because it sounds like he'll need the run. But you ride number 13, Blackthorne. If he does somehow bring his best, how dangerous could he be?
Very dangerous. At his best, he's probably one of the better stayers around. Just got to obviously recapture that form, and like they've mentioned, he's probably going to be in need of it. So it's a nice stepping stone for the stayers race coming up.
And then Justin, you've got one-way traffic. How much hair have you lost because of him?
Yeah, look, we arrive in the early parts of a season, and you're trying to get horses into the right races. Obviously, the Hollywood Durban July is the main aim, and he's a horse that we always thought if we got him into the race, he'd run a big race. So his first run was a little bit below par, needed the run. Then we were scrambling to try get him into the main race, and I think we maybe went the wrong route. You've got a choice to either go the 2-4 or go into the Cup Trial. We thought the Cup Trial may be a bit on the short side, and it turned out to be a much weaker race than we thought it would be. So I think we made the wrong call. We went the 2-4. They went an absolute canter. We were at the back of the field, and he ran on a little bit too late. It was a good run, but disappointing because it meant that we then go again, like the previous year, into the Consolation. And so we pretty much have found ourselves in this race, and he's a horse that certainly if he runs to his best form at Greyville, he'll take a lot of beating. I am quite bullish that he should take some beating here.
Was his career best probably in this race last year?
Oh, without a doubt. You got the points for it too, I can assure you. Okay. So, yes, in the same form he was in last year, expect the same type of run. Nice draw. Very rarely do we get nice draws like that. That certainly helps. It just takes a little bit of that pressure off, especially over the distance. We can maybe place him in a bit more of a suitable position than always coming from the back. So, as I said, we're quite confident of a good run here.
Okay, so that's the opening leg of the place accumulators. We now move on to the pick 6, race number 4, the Grade 3 DSTV Gold Vase, over 3,000 meters. Of course, the target in that pick 6 pool is 20 million. There'll be plenty of options on the Hollywoodbets website as well for you to get involved with various bet types. And in race number 4, let's start off with Justin, because he's got number 12, Salvatore Mundi, who ran in the Derby at Hollywoodbets Scottsville just a few weeks ago. Were you disappointed with that run? Is he still going to have a bigger picture this winter season?
It'd be hard to say yes. I am concerned. I think we're here. I think Gavin will help. He's won on him in Cape Town. Do I think he's one of my top stayers? I think I've got better. I am always nervous a little bit of staying races in Durban. The grass onto poly. I actually walked around. I didn't like what I saw on the conversion from poly onto grass. It just looks a bit messy. It does always concern me. I do like to sometimes keep my stayers out of these races. So going to be a tough one for him. He does go positive. Maybe with a bit of luck in running, he could be in the money.
Keegan, you run number 5, Runaway Song, who won the self-same Derby at Hollywoodbets Scottsville a couple of weeks earlier. He got a close to record-breaking penalty for the win, but he was impressive in winning. Step up to 3,000 meters, no concern. Extra weight, is that a concern? What's against and what's for Runaway Song?
I think the fact he stays is at his advantage. The fact that he should be carrying 52, if he didn't win the Derby, That is the concern. So he's got an extra 8 kilos to play with, but like I said, the up is he's a horse that stays and he's got a beautiful turn of foot.
Is he up to it? Can he turn it on in time at a tighter turning Hollywoodbets Greyville?
I definitely think he can. He was on top of them quite early up the straight last time, and I just nursed him through the last bit, and I thought it was quite a soft win, and yeah, just hopefully he's good enough to carry the extra weight.
Atandiwe, you ride number 3, Tabebua, who I don't really want to pigeonhole him as a horse that's best at Turffontein, but when he was up in Joburg on the Halfveld during the summer-autumn season, he was deadly from the front. Do you think that maybe he could play them on the break over 3,000 metres? I don't think the stamina will be a question, but will he have enough class?
Yeah, that's a question mark right there. I mean, you're saying you don't see. For me, I think the staying as well, 3,000. For me, it's just a little bit of a concern. But I think Gareth has got him as well as he can have him, and I think with a better luck, we can have a soft lead and maybe can pull it off. But yeah, for me, that 3,000 is a bit of a concern.
Let's just talk about the chances that Gareth's given you just before we go any further. I think that you are going to be set for a huge season coming up, the 2023-24 season, because of the chances that Gareth's giving you, and now the evidence that other trainers are seeing. How nice and how refreshing is it that you've come to Hollywoodbets Durban July with a good book of rides for a yard that's in form, that's put you on the map. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I can't say it enough that Gareth has really been the man of his word, and I just consider myself blessed, from riding 14 winners last season and this season to be already on 63. For me, it's an achievement for me, and yeah, without Gareth, he's done that for me, and yeah, I'm appreciative of that.
Yeah, I can see that it means a lot to you. That's actually brilliant. Didn't know it was from 14 to 63 already with a month left to go of the season. So that is one of the feel-good stories of this season, which is obviously coming to an end. Then we get on to the 2-year-old feature, the Zulu Kingdom Golden Slipper, a grade 2 over 1,400 metres. This is the start of jackpot number 2, and Mike de Kock and Keegan DeMello team up with number 8, White Pearl, who I think is seriously progressive. Mike, how progressive is she?
I really like this filly. She's by a stallion that I believe, the further they go, the better they'll be, and that they'll just keep improving. He was a back-end 2-year-old himself, and on Platina. So I thought, first time out, she's very unlucky. She was drawn 11 of 12 with colts at the inside track at Turffontein. She ran second. She wins the next start, beating the 3 and 4-year-olds, and the next start she wins a good race at Turffontein. The second filly looks a reasonable filly. The third filly was Platina's Princess. It comes out and wins. I think she's a big runner.
Keegan, you rode her last time. How impressed were you?
Very impressed. She's not big. She's got a very nice turn of foot, and her temperament holds her in high steed. She switches off, and when you ask her to quicken, it's there. Concern is the 8 draw, but she won really nicely with me last time, and you can pretty much put her anywhere, and you're going to get a good finish out of her.
And so I just want to ask you, just from a jockey's perspective, I know the Hollywood Syndicate don't have a runner, but what's the hardest distance to ride at Hollywoodbets Greyville?
I think a 1,400, especially if you don't have a good draw, because you jump and you're on the turn already. So it's all about the horse that you've got. So if you've got the speed, and where do you want to position the horse, especially if you're drawn badly. I think that's the most important thing. And if you have got a horse that doesn't have the early speed, then you've got to come back and is it good enough to make up the ground? I think that's what this track's all about.
So where's your limit of a bad draw? Is 8 just about in the wheelhouse?
Yeah, 8, it depends. Is my horse got speed? I'm not really concerned. If I'm drawn 8 and I got speed, then I know I'm probably going to smash half of them on the inside and get into a good position. And on this day, there's so much adrenaline going, and the race is run very dirty. So you're actually able sometimes to get into a good draw, not even doing anything.
I noticed that all the panelists were smiling at that. Some good memories of what I'm sure Anthony. He obviously learnt quite a lot during his riding career. On we go to race number 6. This the Grade 2 Durban Golden Horseshoe of 1,400 metres. A race that has a wonderful roll of honour. Can be a Equus Award determining race. And again, we got the De Mello de Kock combination here. I'll start with Keegan this time with number 13. Give me another chance. Now, this is a bad draw, but this is a good horse. What do you make of him?
You got that spot on. He's a very nice horse, and obviously the draw 13 is gonna play a big role in how the race is run. But he's a horse that likes to go forward, and he's just improved every single run. And when I jumped off him last time, I said he's getting better, and I really like him as a horse. He's got a nice turn of foot from a handy position, and yeah, I can't say enough good about him. He's just given me a lot of joy.
Is he your best rider of the day, or is he up there? Would you bracket sort of 2 or 3? How close would he be to your best rider of the day?
He's probably there and thereabouts, but if he was drawn a bit better, I would probably say he was my standout ride, but it's always the draw that is a concern.
Mark, I saw that he was double declared. How close were you to backing out of a bad draw and waiting for the Grade 1 and Gold Cup day?
Yeah, it's hard to back out of a Grade 2. A lot of the fairly good 2-year-olds defected to the breeders' race because they were well drawn, which sort of made me decide to go for this. There's 2 or 3 there that, had they been in this race, it's a different ball game. I think they almost drew a little bit of the quality away from this race by having the breeders' race on the day. I mean, he's a top horse, but I mean, draws sometimes can be a massive hindrance, as Anthony said, certainly around here. I mean, I think he's a horse that's going to go on to be a Guineas horse. Justin might have a good look at him on Saturday, because he's going to see him down in the Guineas in Cape Town sometime. So, but he's a smart horse, but he's got a lot. You can get lucky and get out and get there for nothing, or you can get someone on the inside of you that's got no chance of getting there, but it'll scrub its head off, keep you wide, and finish your chances.
Justin, where's your runner past the Hollywoodbets Durbanville?
You know the funny thing is that I actually had his father in this race, drawn with Felix on, drawn 14 out of 15. It was robbery. Give Me the Green Light never won this race, but the draw was a big problem. And that day it was Give Me the Green Light was unbelievable as a 2-year-old. He won 4 or 5 races before we even got to the Natal season. And it was very hard. So, but I'll take 11 ahead of 14. I can assure you, every little number is more beneficial the lower you go. So, I'll take 11 over 14 any day.
Can you remember who won that race? Was it not Delpech and de Kock by any chance?
More than likely, every time I needed to win a feature, I had to beat the 2 of them, but then I got clever and I managed to get Delpech, and it helped. And you were in love with Waishong, I think, at the time, or Kevin Shack.
That's before the interview.
And now who are you in love with, Mark?
I'm not in love with any of them.
And then, Ant, you've got number 9, Kupaliwe in the race, trained by Peter Muscat. Last time wasn't beaten out of sight by Give Me Another Chance. I think he's also progressive. What do you make of him?
I think he is progressive, and I think he's going to be a better 3-year-old. And I was told by the jockey I gave him the wrong instructions last time. So he said he should have gone forward, and he actually rode him from behind. He's a very big horse. So obviously we're going to ride him a little bit different this time and ride him like the jockey thinks he must be ridden and go forward. But obviously we've got a lot to still improve to be able to beat Mark's horse. But he could be a horse that could be running into the money.
Okay, so there we go. That's the 6th race on the card. So we've done race number 7 through the meat of today's discussion. That, of course, being the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. But race number 8 is a fantastic renewal of the Ridgemont Garden Province Stakes. Probably a vintage renewal of the Great Mile here at Hollywoodbets Greyville. We've got Desert Miracle and Princess Kala locking horns. And Mike's got 2 runners here, Desert Miracle being one of them. The other one is Humdinger. How happy were you with that sprint up at Hollywoodbets Scottsville last time when finishing 2nd behind Princess Kala, knowing that this was always the bigger picture, Mike?
Yeah, sure. I thought it was a great run. She came from last and finished the race off very, very well. She does well with that sprint prep going into the mile. She seems to always lift again when she goes for the main target. Obviously, Alistair, her respiratory issues are well documented. She's brilliant when she's good, when she has no issues. Touchwood, things have been going very well with her here, and that's the key with her, is that she's happy at home, and which she is. Obviously, the class lies in Princess Carla. We've got to still find 3.5 lengths on her, which is not going to be easy. She is a Group 1 winner at a mile at Turfentine. Her form of late does suggest she's probably a better sprinter, but as I say, you loathe to condemn fillies like this because she just seems to be one of those champions that's very versatile. Humdinger is a 7 furlong specialist. She loves Greyville, for sure, but I really think she's a 7 furlong specialist. She could stay on for a minor placing, but because the good draw does help her. There's no doubt about it. Because she's got a seems to be, when she runs well, she's got to be forward.
Just quickly back to Desert Miracle. How much of a feather in your cap would it be to have 3 Grade 1 wins, potentially 3 Grade 1 wins in 3 different provinces in one season?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember if I've ever done that, and it would be a hell of a thing. It would be a hell of a thing for Mary as well, owning and breeding, and having imported the mother and bred the father. So it's quite a thing for Wilgerbos for sure. I didn't really think of it that way, but I guess it would be quite a hell of a thing.
And then Justin, you've got some great memories and not so great memories of this race over the last decade or so. It's a tough race to win. Takes a proper filly, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, I think Mike, if ever Princess Carla is going to have a race on her hands, it's with Mike's filly. I know from the race in Cape Town where he beat Captain's Ransom, I never really had any excuses. His filly won a very, very impressive race, and I can tell you, Christoph is no slouch. Mike's clever. He's managed to get him here to South Africa. It's a huge advantage, and I think especially in this sort of moment where Princess Carla is drawn a little bit on the outside, I think it's game on. I think I would not be surprised that Mike could upset it here, and it would be nice to see Mike in a good mood this season.
Been in a good mood for a long time, especially when he's winning on the golf course. And then, ironically, Ridgemont Highlands sponsor the Garden Province Stakes, and they also bred your runner, number 9, Going Up, who I know has a bit of a mind of her own. If she puts it all together, can she be a threat to Princess Carla and Desert Miracle, or are you probably running for the places?
Well, I think she is her own worst enemy. She is a real difficult filly. When she decides she wants to work in the morning, she'll work, otherwise she doesn't. And it was her first run at Greyville, and she really took absolutely no interest. It's her second time at the track, so hopefully she knows the track a little bit better, but I think she's up against it. I think she'll really find it very tough. I'll be very happy to run third to them.
Race number 9 on the card is the start of the third jackpot rather, where there's a nice big juicy carryover for you to look forward to. It's the Grade 2 Post Merchants over 1,200 metres. Great that this race is now part of the card. I want to start with Anthony because there are 2 Hollywood Syndicate runners. There's Epico and Full Velocity. 2 fillies that do have something about them, but can they make the grade here?
Well, Epico is really, really doing well. As the 6 furlong is obviously a question mark. Obviously, she's a filly that's got a lot of speed, so most probably she'll be in front. If she could have things her own way and be able to dictate and not being pressurized, I think she's not out of it. I definitely think she's got a good chance. And obviously, Full Velocity, from the poor draw, it's going to be really difficult for her. She's going to have to give them a bit of a chance. But she's not a bad filly. On her day, she can run a big race, but I think from that draw, she's just going to find it a little bit difficult.
Tale of 2 cities, literally the horse that might go to the front and the horse that might be coming from last. Atandiwe, was that the way you read it with the Pico? Is she just likely going to go out and set sail and hopefully be good enough to stay there?
Yes, which is why the drought doesn't concern me. I mean, when I rode in Maritzburg, she's got a lot of speed, and I think that's going to work in her favor. She's got the lights weights, and the 1,200 jet Greyville might be a little bit forgiving than the 1,200 in Maritzburg, so I think she's more ready now, so she'll give a good account of herself, I'm sure.
Mike, has that added to any type of confidence with the Pico? Is she just bubbling under the radar as a likely big chance here?
Yeah, look, she's won 5 races this season, so she's been pretty good. She had a good rest after Cape Town, which she needed, and basically skipped the Joburg season. And she's needed the 2 runs back. This is more her game in that it's a handicap. Whereas the last 2 starts, she's been, had a lot to do at the weights and not quite as fit as she should have been or could be. And she's definitely come on with those runs. She's doing very, very well. I just want to add to what you said about Antandiwe earlier. It's easy when you get chances, you've got to take them. And I must congratulate Antandiwe in that I've given people chances, Justin's given jocks chances, and they don't take them. While you get in the chances, you've done well to actually get there and get those horses in front. So it's a big compliment for him. I'm very happy to have him on the filly, and I think this is a very, very open race given the fact that it is a handicap. But she can't be left out of anything.
And then, Keegan, you ride number 12, Cosmic Highway, the sparingly raced rising 5-year-old son of Gimme the Green Light, who's got all the quality. But are there a couple of issues there with Cosmic Highway? If he's at his best, he's got to be a big chance.
Yes, I definitely think he will. You see he's run second to he's beaten Triple Fortune over the sprints, and that's when he was at his best. And then his last 2 runs we just couldn't explain, but he wasn't really wanting to work at home, and so I think that's why they made the decision to cut him. And I must say he's doing very, very well at home. He's probably doing the best out of all our runners on the day, and yet he's looks on form like he's got no chance in the race because of his last 2 runs, but doing very well, and we hopefully just brings his earlier form.
Well, there's the beauty of these discussions. Cosmic Highway will be at a bit of a price on an open 9th race, and working as well as ever. Of course, he won the Darden Stakes as a 3-year-old, so that's the quality that he possesses. Then on to race number 10, the Compendium Insurance Brokers CIB Handicap, a listed feature over 1,600 metres. And Atandiwe, I'll start with you because you're riding what will be a very popular selection for the greenhorns around Hollywoodbets Greyville. They're going to look at this horse after the rain, and all those that come racing once a year are going to have a bet just because of who he is, how he looks. They won't know how he races, but the way he races will give them a thrill as well. How's he doing?
He's doing very well, and like you said, he's the most beautiful looking horse, and he's actually beautiful to sit on as well. When I work him in the mornings, you get goosebumps just the way he does his work. He enjoys his work, you don't get a lot of them like him. And I think he'll run nicely. When I rode him his last 2 runs, he felt like he is now looking for a bit of a trip. I mean, obviously the 14 I would have preferred, but I think he can push them all, and he's doing well. So I'm hoping he runs a better race.
Mark, I know how much you like Forever Man, not just because he's a likeable horse, but just because some good friends own Forever Man, good friends of yours and mine. He's always hinted that there's something in there, and his last few runs again suggest that maybe there's something nice to come. How's he doing?
He's doing very well, and I think with him is always a key. The key is a good draw because he's quite a one-dimensional horse. I thought his run to Triple Fortune was a very, very good run. Last time was a good run as well from a wideish draw, although the winner was drawn wider than he was. But it's paramount to a good run for him to have a good draw. I've always thought he's a 7-furlong specialist. Richard keeps on saying, you're wrong, you've got to go a mile, you've got to go even 18. So, here we are with a good draw, and we'll see how he goes. But he's in really, really good form. And, as I say, it's one of those wonderful partnerships. Racing with friends is a great story to the horse. And nothing would give me greater pleasure than seeing him in the number one box on Saturday, actually.
Keegan, how big is the heart on Silvano's Dasher? He showed that last time at Hollywoodbets Scottsville on the big sprint race day from a bad draw. You didn't get any luck in running, but he still won. The weight, the extra distance, what do you think of him?
I think both is at a disadvantage for him. He's got 62.5. He's going a mile. He's never proven he's quite gone a mile. I know when he ran in Cape Town, he ran up like a winner, and he never went through with it, and he got beaten by one of the Hollywood horses, Imalenza Yakoduduma. And I just think he's a better horse over 1400, I must be honest. And I think with the weight swing around on Forever Mind, wherever Forever Mind is, I think Silvano's Dasher might be just behind him on the weight turnaround.
And then Ants, the Hollywood Syndicate has number 8, Platinum Sky, another horse that's probably under-delivered throughout his career. He's always suggested that he won't be too far away from the top horses around him, but he's not got his nose in front. You think the change of scenery might bring about some life?
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Keegan actually said he worked him in the morning and he's really doing well at home. And I like the mile. I've always thought the mile is his best strip. But listen, it's a very competitive field. So for his first run up for Dean, I think he's cracked a really, really tough race. And yeah, we'll be happy for him to run into a placing in a kind of field like this.
Half-brother to Princess Colour, no less. Then on to race number 11. It's wonderful to have the Brentford Football Club guys. Of course, Hollywoodbets associated with Brentford. It's been a wonderful story, a wonderful partnership between a football club that's now gone through the divisions and making the grade in the English Premier League. And we'll be looking forward to seeing a lot of the Bees faithful out at Hollywoodbets Greyville at the July. Let's start with that. They've got number 5, Asia Pambile, the Hollywood Syndicate. Good run last time to Valeria's Dream. Second run after arrest. Is all set fair for her?
Yeah, I think she ran a very big race last time from a very poor draw. She really, really worked very hard to get into a good position. I'll make this our best runner on the day, and I think she'll take a lot of beating.
And then number 9, Zinakela. I'll come to us and do in a moment, but just a quick comment about her.
I think she's also doing well, and this is a spot-on run, and Garrett is really bullish about the way she's doing at home, and I also believe that she's got a serious chance.
Atandiwe, you've got to know her quite well. You've ridden her in her last 6 starts where she's produced a lot of good performances. If not winning, she's right there. How close to her best is she?
She's very close. I'm actually quite impressed with her. She's probably one of my better rides. She ran a very good race last time, 1800. I had to sort of like try and ride her to see the distance because she was going for it. She went the distance the first time, but coming Saturday, the mile on the poly, she loves it. I think she's proven it, and I think she'll go very close.
Okay, so that's one of the harder races on the card, race 11, but there's definitely some confidence about both the Hollywood Syndicate runners. That might simplify the outlook. And then on we go to the 12th and last race. This is the Gagasi FM MR88. They go 1,400 meters on the poly track. It can be a little bit of a tricky race to be the get-out stakes, the 12th and last race. Let's start off with Keegan DeMello, who takes her out on number 2, USA's Hope. He's looked to winner at his last few starts without getting the job done. Do you think today's the day?
I really hope so. He's doing very well at home. 61.5 again is a big concern for a 3-year-old. He's going to be trying the poly for the first time with the crowd and under the lights. But he has improved since his last run, and I think he'll be better over 1,400, I must be honest, and he's probably my best ride on the day.
And then Ant, to put a lid on it, Tirpitz for the Hollywood Syndicate, came down to Hollywoodbets Greyville on the Guineas Day and trounced them. Captain Rocket's come out and won and run second since, so that all looks good. Another spin round, what could be his favourite track?
Well, this is his first time on the poly. We wish it was on the turf. We don't know how he's going to take to the poly, but in the manner that he won his first time on this track was really, really impressive. I think if he brings that kind of a run in a race like this, then he must have a serious chance.
So that is pretty much a wrap of the other 11 races. Just a quick run through from end to end. Mark, best runner of the day?
I'm going to say probably Desert Miracle. Probably between her and give me another chance. He was drawn well. He may have been, but I reckon she's my best of the day.
2 very lively chances indeed. Justin, your best of the day as you page through to try and remember who it might be.
No. I know that there was a horse that I did like that I think I would like to give to punters. My brother studied the card, and Egyptian Mao. That's my roughie for the day for the punters. Egyptian Mao.
If that arrives, we'll be getting the other Snaith next year on the panel. And who's the best Hollywood runner of the day?
I believe Asia Pambile is definitely our best on the day.
Keegan, your best ride of the day?
I think Outlaw King.
Outlaw King. And Atandiwe, who's your best chance to lift some silverware?
I really like Zinakele. I think she'll run well.
There we go. The Hollywood Syndicate exacta in race number 11, Zinakile and Asia Pambile. So that is a wrap. Those are all 12 races done and dusted. Hopefully the other 11 races have guided you in the right direction. It might look like a scary card on first glance, but I think the panel have hopefully steered you in the right direction. Nothing like a little bit of help and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a wonderful day at Hollywoodbets Greyville. We cannot wait. From the 2nd of July 2023 until the first Saturday of July 2024, we'll be thinking about this day. But thanks so much to the panel. Thanks very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we cannot wait to see you here at the Theatre of Champions on the 1st of July.